Out on the sprawling plains of Oklahoma, where the tall grass sways under the haunting serenade of the wind, there exists a legend older than the state itself, the story of the Birdman. This eerie creature, neither fully man nor beast, is said to haunt the prairies under the shroud of night, its piercing red eyes gleaming like embers in the darkness. The legend takes root in the late 1800s in the modest town of Enid. Back then, Enid was little more than a cluster of homesteads, its residents reliant on cattle farming and the land's scarce resources. But prosperity turned to dread when a sinister predator began to terrorize the area. Farmers awoke to find their livestock dead, not torn apart as one might expect from wolves or coyotes, but drained of blood, their bodies untouched except for small, unexplainable punctures. At first, the townsfolk blamed sickness, or perhaps some strange parasite. However, as the attacks grew more frequent and reports of a strange presence circulated, the elders began whispering about the Prairie Devil. Samuel Boone, a young and resilient farmer, was among the first to witness the Birdman. The night was heavy with silence, the kind that pressed down on your chest. Samuel was securing his barn when he heard a scream unlike anything he'd ever encountered. It was part human, part animal, he later told a small gathering of townsfolk, like something crying out in pain but hungry at the same time. With a lantern in one hand and his rifle in the other, Samuel stepped out into the dark. The warm glow of his lantern barely pierced the inky night, and then he saw it. There, perched on the roof of his barn, was a towering figure. It stood over 7 feet tall, with long, sinewy limbs and vast black wings folded against its back. Its face was partially hidden, but its glowing red eyes bore into Samuel's soul. Before Samuel could lift his rifle, the creature let out a deafening screech, spread its wings, and disappeared into the night. The wind that followed, Samuel later said, felt like death itself. The following day, Samuel discovered strange tracks in the soil. The prints weren't human, nor were they animal. They resembled talons with claw marks digging deep into the earth as though something heavy had landed and taken off. When Samuel shared his story, many laughed, dismissing it as a tall tale born from fear. But soon others began reporting the same sounds, the same eerie lights in the dark. According to Native American tribes who once inhabited the plains, the Birdman was not a creature of flesh and bone, but a spirit, a cursed entity born from betrayal. Centuries earlier, a shaman named Dark Heart had been wronged by his tribe. As he lay dying, he cursed the land and called upon the spirits of the wind and sky to avenge him. When his body perished, his spirit transformed into a vengeful being. Legends say that the Birdman was bound to the plains, feeding off the fear of those who dared trespass on sacred grounds. Its haunting call was both a warning and a death sentence to those who ignored it. By 1912, the Birdman's legend had become a cautionary tale, told around campfires and used to keep children from wandering too far from home. But, as always, some sought to test the boundaries of the unknown. A group of 5 young men skeptical of the old stories set out one autumn evening armed with lanterns, rifles, and bravado. They ventured deep into the prairie, to a place locals referred to as the Hollow, believed to be the Birdman's lair. Hours passed, and the group didn't return. At dawn, a search party was sent out. Of the 5 men, only one was found, curled up in a ditch, muttering incoherently. When he finally regained his senses, he spoke of glowing eyes watching them from every shadow, of a deafening screech that rendered them powerless, and of wings that enveloped the night sky. "We weren't hunting it," he said, trembling. "It was hunting us." The other 4 men were never found. Though the Birdman's appearances became less frequent in the years that followed, it's said that on nights when the wind dies and the moon is hidden, you can still hear the flap of wings and the faint, haunting cry of the Prairie Devil. Travelers passing through the plains often report seeing a pair of glowing red eyes in their rearview mirrors or catching a fleeting shadow overhead. The legend of the Birdman remains a chilling reminder of the mysteries that lurk in the open wilderness. Is it just a story, or does the spirit of Darkheart still haunt the plains? If you're captivated by tales like this, filled with terror, folklore, and the unknown, subscribe to our channel, Legends of the World. From eerie legends to chilling hauntings, we bring you the most spine-tingling stories from across the globe. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Would you dare to wander the dark prairies of Oklahoma?